Prasthana. Prasthana is that which we take to go. This is the path to go forward towards liberation, towards the ultimate goal. And I have always held that we should not, as Samvit sadhakas, confine ourselves only to the prasthanatraya. I might have told you in earlier occasions also, apart from the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita, these are the foundations, like pillars. Rising upon that tier upon tier of Shastras we have, they are all prasthanas only. We won't be able to get into the spirit of the prasthanatraya unless we come to the prakaranas. Very nice name, prakarana. When you try to put into action, put into practice the tattva of the prasthana, prakarana, then this is what is needed. They are like guidebooks. So prakarana also is one prasthana only. And these also need not be very elaborate intellectual expositions. They may be just a beautiful stotra. And what do you say about Dakshinamurti stotra? What do you say about Gauri Dashakam? What do you say about the Pratasmarana stotra? Complete. So there is a stotra prasthana also. I go one step further. There are many who may not be able to, they can use the stotra, but they don't go into the intricacies of it. All stotras are not really prasthana. Most of them are descriptive. So to infuse the bhava into them, great acharyas like Sadashiva Brahmendra, he began to sing. We have the Sankirtana Prasthana. And Premaspada Sadhyojaji has been using it to the hilt, thrusting it deep into you, just with Sankirtana Prasthana. So you see, the Shishya has to approach in so many ways. So that is what we want to focus our attention upon. The Shishya, how is he going to fulfill the expectations of the Guru? The Guru himself is like a Virat Swarupa. He is not confined to one, what to speak about personality, he is not confined to one tattva. Because of your own Atma dimension, your own self. Is it a finite self? It cannot be. So if your self is infinite and you are going to realize the infinite nature of yourself, then your prasthana also will be infinite. So many levels of your awareness towards the Purna Upadesha. So the Upadesha also changes according to the level of the Shishya. So that's what you should try to discover. I will not be able to deal with every stanza of this song. But you immediately discover in the very opening, Yachreyasyan mama nishchitya bruhi tvatpadamule patitam mampahi. Do you recognize a familiar voice? Who is that? Arjuna. Yachreyasyan. Like that, there are many voices of disciples coming into this song. There are many prashnas which the Shishya proposes, places before the Guru. Prashna is needed. Pranipata is needed. Pariseva is needed. This is the standard path of jnana, is it not? The pranipata also changes. Pranipata is not just a gesticulation, an action. All these three are your spiritual modes. So the pranipata, at very level, the pranipata will change. The prashna has to change. The seva also has to change. Otherwise there won't be progress, there won't be uplift. So this is very, very important thing, that a Shishya does not get desiccated, stagnant, sticking to one rut. That is not the Samvit path. So you will get many, many voices in this. And all the voices I have taken from our own scriptures. All the Shad Prasthanas. For instance, Bhagavan Bhashyakara himself says, Tatpadambudamarchayami paramam tvam chintayam yanvaham tvamisham sharanam rajami vachasa tvameva yache vibo diksham me disha sakshishim sagarunam divyeshchiram prarthitam shambho lokaguro madiya manasaha saukhyopadesham kuru. Shishya asking. So he is telling this only for our sake, no? Shambho, Loka, Guru, Shivandaleri. So it is the Guru you are addressing, then you must address him as a Shishya. Saukhyopadesham Kuru. You will find that word in the song. There is a Dharmopadesham, Saukhyopadesham. And then immediately afterwards the mood changes because the level of the Shishya changes. And in that same Shivananda Lahiri, you will find Bhagavan Bhashyakara saying, Yogakshe madhurandarasya sakala shreya pradod yoginoho drishya drishya matopadesha kritino bahyantara vyapinah sarvajnasya dayakarasya bhavatah kim veditavyam maya shambho tvam paramantaranga iti me chitte smaram yanvaham. No prashna. The level, that level he realizes, you Guru, you are Sarvajna, you are Sarvavyapi, Sarvasamartha. What should I tell you so that you may know my state? You know everything. So there is no use asking. Chitte smarami anvaham shambho tvam paramantaranga. To accept the Ishta or the Guru as the Antaranga itself is very difficult. We always keep them Bairanga. Parama Antaranga. So he has gone very deep. In that state, this Marana itself becomes the Prashna. Not that there is no Prashna. This Marana itself becomes the Prashna and presses upon the Shiva Guru. And so there will be a response, there will be a Upadesha. What will be that Upadesha? It will be Maunopadesha. If Mauna is the Prashna, then the answer will be Mauna. I want you to meditate upon this from the Dharmopadesha up to the Maunopadesha. There also it does not cease. There are levels of Mauna. Levels of Mauna. We have to go into that. Because when you receive Upadesha of Pranava, how will you receive it? You have to receive it only with Mauna. That Mauna is called Sannyasa. When you receive the Brahmopadesha, how will you receive it? You will have to receive it only as prajna. That is another mauna. So Brahmopadesha, Pranavopadesha, all this will lead to the Purna Upadesha. So this is the journey. This is what we have to understood as serious Samvit sadhakas, and this continuous dialogue should go on. The dialogue between the Jiva and the Ishvara, between the Shishya and the Guru. It's a developing dialogue. And mind you, that dialogue depends upon a language and an understanding chetas. So there are different levels of your communication and different levels of your understanding. I won't confuse you very much with that. Let us relax and consider the entire picture. Jnana mainly is of three kinds. In various places, wherever this jnana prasanga comes. So when I was seeing the Shakti Sutras, surprised, one of the sutra is Jnanam Bandhaha. I was shocked. What is this? We think that jnana is for mukti, for moksha. Jnanam bandhaha. This is one jnana, and you have to realize that. Then there is jnanam tapaha. Ultimately, jnanam kaivalyaha. So three levels, mainly three levels of jnana. The first is the prakrita buddhi. At the prakrita level, jnanam bandhaha. All creatures share jnana, is it not? There is jnana in all creatures. The Durga Saptashati, you are little familiar with that also. It begins with this issue only. How is it? Medhatiti Rishi is being asked by Suratha Raja. How is that knowingly we are committing this mistake? Kimetan janannapi mahamate. And the Rishi laughs and says, you think you only know? Everybody knows. Jnanamasti samastasya jantor vishayagochare. Samastasya jnanamasti vishayagochare. That is bandhan. Jnanam bandha refers to vishaya jnana. That even the Pashu has. So Bhashyakara mentions this in the beginning of the Brahma Sutra Bhashya and says that merely having this jnana, this is Vishaya and I am going to enjoy that, that jnana and that jnana will not be leading you to mukti. It will be bandhana only, because Vishaya itself means bandhan. Shai bandhane dhatu. Vishaya means that which binds you. So jnana can take you to Vishaya also. And that the Prakriti itself is doing. So that you may do Vishaya Sevana. So Bhashyakara says, this jnana you have, that is all right, Pashubhishcha aviseshat. That knowing and the animal knowing both are the same. So those, they may call themselves Vidwan, but they are using all the jnana only for laukika vyavahara, bringing more and more sophistication and facility in their amassing sense pleasures, sense objects acquisition. If your jnana is only further than Pashubhishcha aviseshat vyavaharo nama bhranti. That also is a jnana, bhranti jnana, which binds you. Jnanam bandha. So in the second level, that is how Udbodhana comes when the Guru comes, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavara, Nibodhata, Uttishtata, rise from the sense level. Uttishta. So to rise from the Pashu level also, you need a Udbodhana. You need to raise your awareness. So he who comes to give you the Udbodhana, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Please understand that sentence in this way. Prapyavaran, Uttishtata, Prapyavaran, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. So I infer if there is a Nibodhan, there is a Prabodhan also, and there is a Udbodhan also. Udbodhan, Prabodhan, Nibodhan. So we are talking about that. So if you want to raise yourself beyond the sense level, you need a different language. He who comes to give you Udbodhana will speak about Viveka and Vairagya. A different language you have to have. So if the Shrestha Guru also is available and you feel, I am a Pashu. What is a Pashu? Pashabaddha Pashu. That is the definition of Pashu. I mean, it's not a abuse that the Acharya says, Pashubhishcha, we say you are also animals. No, you are bound. Pashabaddaha Pashuhu, Pashamuktaha Shivaha. So I am feeling this bondage. When that feeling rises, then if you want to be free of that bondage, you have to speak a different language when you address the Guru. Somebody gave me a very nice, small little illustration. It's almost like a joke, but I discovered in it a very beautiful illustration. One foreigner was walking on the banks of Nakki Lake.